Okay, so my half guard A-game system. Once again, an A-game system for me consists of 3 pathways, and each one of those pathways lead to a chain of attacks. All right, and they usually deal with my opponent's resistance to certain movements that I'm making. Right. So what if he does this, I do that. Right. So my first goal when I'm on the half guard, bottom half guard, is to get an underhook. All right. So let's just say he's down on me here. My first goal is usually to get the underhook. This is the first pathway. Get my underhook, and from my underhook, come up to my forearm. Maybe even my hand if I can, like this. So this is that's my first objective in the half guard, is to get to the underhook position. My second objective, if he's tight like this, and I'm having trouble getting the underhook, is going to be to get the butterfly hook. So my outside leg, I'm going to create just enough space to loop that foot inside. And I use my inside leg to help, I use my outside leg to move my hips out, and then my inside leg to move my hips in, right? So I go out, in tight, pull back in. Now I have the butterfly hook, and I can use the butterfly hook for my attacks here. And then my third pathway is to try to get the lockdown position. So a lot of times when I'm trying to get an underhook, they want to pull their knee in to defend. And so when they do that, it's easy to get a lockdown. Right? So now I have that lockdown from the inside, and then I have my attacks I can do from here. So those are my 3 pathways: the underhook, the butterfly hook, and the lockdown. All right? So from the underhook, there's many things that we can do. This is what I like to try to do. Once I get the underhook position, my first objective is to try to take the back. If I'm trying to take the back and they get a whizzer, they prevent that back take, I do a rollover sweep. Those are the main things that I focus on from the underhook. So I have the underhook, and then I have the what if he gets a whizzer. So if he doesn't get a whizzer, I take the back. If he gets a whizzer, I do a rollover sweep. All right, so let's just make it 2 for now. Moving on to the butterfly hook. I'm having trouble getting my underhook. So now I'm gonna move to the butterfly hook right here. And now I can use my butterfly hook to get a sweep. So the more committed he is to holding me down, the easier the sweep's gonna be. Get to my side by pulling my knee in, hipping out a little bit. Once again, the more committed he is here, up top, the easier the sweep's gonna be. So I'm going for my butterfly hook. He's locking me down here, so I'm just gonna kind of hold him in place. I'm gonna block his arm, block his posture, so now he's kind of stuck here. So as I start to go for the sweep, he's left to balance with his leg this time. So he uses that leg as a base. Go ahead and base that a little bit more. Boom. So now if he does that, I just take my foot and I take his base out, and we get the sweep. I'll turn it this way this time. A little bit. So I get the butterfly hook, and he decides he wants to posture up a little bit here. He wants to get rid of his head control because he knows I have him locked for the sweep. So he's just kind of basing out a little bit, and he opens up for me. So he was able to get his arm free. I'm gonna go ahead and get my underhook here, and then my underhook under the leg right here. And here we can go for the bear trap, the calf slicer. Okay, so again, if I'm trying to go for the butterfly hook and they are hip to that, they start to rotate their hips and knee. So I can easily switch off now to the lockdown. Once I get the lockdown, I need to start working deeper. So what I want to do now is start to pull my knees to my chest, bump them up, I'm gonna do it again. I get my underhook right here, bump him again, face out so he doesn't switch, base out so you don't fall. Yes. Now we underhook the leg right here. From the lockdown right here, I come back to the other side, and we can either just roll him over. A lot of times we'll base and fight that. So we end up here where we're going to try to stretch him out. And we're just getting a groin stretch. And if he doesn't like the groin stretch pressure, he's going to go ahead and just fall down to relieve the pressure. And I'm going to come over top. Now if I grab that collar, I can continue the pressure right here, or I can let go of the lockdown and complete the pass. So just in brief, that's the A-game system that I typically use from half guard position. So my 3 pathways are going to be getting the underhook with the arm, taking the back, doing the rollover sweep, getting a butterfly hook. From there, butterfly sweep. If they base, take the base out. They base with the arm, work in for the bear trap. If they defend the butterfly hook, then I can try to go for the lockdown and work for the electric chair and the electric chair sweep. Now, the butterfly hook and the lockdown, they go back and forth. Get you here one more time. If I'm trying to get him in a lockdown position, pushing that foot out, trying to work in position here, he's going to want to do opposite of that. He wants his foot to go in. That makes it easy to get the butterfly hook. And once again, if I'm going for the butterfly hook, he wants to move his knee away from it. That makes it easy to get the lockdown. So we use those two together. And then, once I have an underhook, a butterfly, or a lockdown, I can often also get the underhook here. I can use my lockdown now to bring his base up by pulling my knees in, and I can get my underhook. So even here, if he's fighting this, and I wanted to switch to a back take, I could do that now. So we have the 3 pathways, and if we understand what we're trying to do with the 3 pathways, we can start to use them together and then make each path even easier to achieve.